The next important thing is folder management, opening logic and saving logic in a proper way that would efficiently translate in getting our project sending to other people, collaborating with other people. Somebody else would be doing mixing, mastering, and somebody will be doing even programming, and then you revert back the project. So the folder management is very important. So even before I am opening logic, I'm going to create a new folder, and I rename the folder into logic class. So this is the folder into which I'm going to save all the files for this particular video session. So I'm going to launch logic now. So from the dock, I click open the logic and it quickly opens up, and I'm going to press Command N, which brings me up a dialog where I have plenty of options to choose from. So right now I'm into a place where it displays a lot of templates, and then I can also go into the recent projects. So these are the projects which been working recently, so I can click them and it would open up for me. And I could also go into my templates. If I have saved any templates, I can go and access it from there. So I'm going to go to the new project. I have, say, like hip hop production, electronic music, songwriter, orchestral music, multi-track, and music for pictures. So these are the available templates as of now. And I also have empty project, and I have an options to choose my input output device, which we saw it in the preference. By pressing Command comma, you can choose it, and you also choose your key. That's your song which you are going to compose, whether it's in C major or D minor, whatever it is. You can choose your key if you know it before, and your time signature. So these are all musical values which you need to enter even before opening your session. And again, you have your sample rate option to choose, and but the bit depth option can be chosen only in your preference, which is Command comma. So I'm going to choose it as 48, and it's going to be a C major project, and I would just say open. So I have a new project opened for me, and Logic will want to always have any one of the tracks. It could be a software track, audio, or a drummer track, external MIDI, or guitar and bass, which is very similar to your audio track. But there are a lot of preset processings that's going to happen in my guitar and bass tracks. So right now I'm going to just say an audio track and click create, and I find the name is untitled, and it is not yet saved into the folder which created. This is very, very important step. So by pressing Command S, which is a save command, I'm going to go to the desktop, and I created a folder called Logic class. Click open the folder, get into the project, and I'm going to call it as Logic class 3. And I have an option to save the entire project as a package or into folders. I would prefer to keep it as a package, so I just see one icon, and when I extract the package, I would see the subfolders like video folders, audio folders, all organized in a better way. So I would be able to transfer this project file through internet easily, because it's just an icon, and the icon consists of other required materials. And I would also prefer to check remove this EXS instrument sample, Alchemy samples, Ultrabeat samples, Space Designer samples, and I would just leave it with audio files and movie files, package, and give a name, and then click save. This much has to be done efficiently each time you open a project. Never work on a project which says untitled and the destination folder is not known to you. So next, you can actually update this project, or you can save as. I want to call this project as Logic class A, and probably after working for some time, and then I want to call this project as Logic class 3B. So I would go into file and then choose save as option, which is nothing but Shift Command S. Again, I can go into my same folder and I can update as Logic 3A. a new project. So this renames the same project and updates it. Now I would like to give you a tour of the basic windows available in the Logic. So this area where you see the tracks, I can simply click on this plus button to get a new track addition into the project. So this time I'm going to choose a software instrument and I create it. And this place where we see the bars and beats are called as the timeline, and where you record audios or MIDI informations are basically your arrange window. And then towards the left extreme corner you see a window, and this is called as the inspector window. As you click any one of the track, you can inspect every detail about that particular track on this extreme corner. I is going to be the shortkey for toggling between the inspector window. I open again the inspector window, so I see all the details pertaining to the audio one track which is selected. Now on selection of my instrument track, I get to see all the inspector view of the instrument tracks. And then I press option L, which is my libraries. I have a lot of sound libraries, pre-organized sound libraries. So for instance, if I want to load a bass sound, I click bass and I see different types of bass sounds. Again, I click one of them, I get that particular sound loaded onto my instrument track. So this is option L, which is your library. And then by pressing X, I can see a mixer window. Like your professional analog or a digital console, you have a lot of faders. As per the number of tracks which you create, you have number of faders, and you could use it to insert effects, route the channels into effects processing, mixing and mastering. So X is going to be your mix window. And by pressing B, I get a bin. So this is the place where all my audio recordings, newer recordings through my microphone or my guitar, are going to go and save into my bin. So this is going to be my place where I can drag and drop the files whatever required. And then by pressing O, I have a loop library. So Logic has tons of loops organized, and I could use them all. These are all royalty free loops. I can get creative ideas from the loops and build it upon the loops. So I have loop window. We would see how to organize the loop window in a separate video. So these are the main windows, and on the top you see a display. Most of them call it as an LCD display screen. It is nothing but a display. And then your transport bar. By right clicking the transport bar, you can say customize the bars and display. So you have multiple options. So on inclusion of go to the beginning, I get a new icon added. Go to the positions, left locators, and I would see here list editor, notepad, Apple loops and browsers. So I would prefer to use your notepad frequently. So on enabling the notepad, you can see on the left top, right top corner, the notepad icon appears and disappears. So these are the options which can be included. I always prefer to use the notepad, and few other options. You can restore to default on one click and say OK, and I can type in any of the notes by pressing edit. I can probably say you can save an internet link or any musical ideas that you want to implement in the next hour, so that you can just type it. So I'm going to type YouTube link. So all these things can be done, and I could simply save it. So these are the basic windows or parts of your Logic which you would be using most often. So that's your track area, where you can create the tracks by pressing this icon and choose any of your tracks. And when you record informations, you would see clips, audio clips or MIDI clips on the arrange area. And then you have your mixer window, and you can move your faders to balance the sounds. I'm not going to do it right away. And I have an inspector window. I is to get toggle between inspector window on and off. Then option L is for your library, to toggle between the libraries of your sounds. And so all these appears in one screen as multiple parts. So this particular view is called as a cascaded view. I get to see different sections of Logic organized in one folder.